All right, so last week we talked about adding and subtracting of fractions with like denominators. Good morning, Daniela. And we're going to continue that. We're going to add to it a little bit. Today you're going to have a page that has both adding and subtracting, but they also have number lines on them. And I went out and bought this fancy little whiteboard to go over it with you guys. All right, so the first number line I've got on the board, I am getting this from page 497 if you would like to look. Page 497. This is number 5 on that page. All right, as you can see, I start with 0 and I go all the way to 1. And my numbers are broken into tenths. My numbers are broken into tenths, starting with 1 over 10, 2 over 10, and it keeps going all the way up to 9 over 10 and then 1, because we know 10 over 10 is 1, right? All right, so when the arrow goes forward, that means we're adding. So on this particular one, I would add 2 tenths plus where my arrow stopped, 6 tenths. So 2 tenths plus 6 tenths would be the equation it would want me to write down. All right. Now, where it starts, when you're going to write a fraction and you're going to add or subtract, you're going to look at the starting point, which on this one is 2 tenths. Okay? So I'm going to write 2 over 10. I know I'm going to add because my arrow goes forward. Now, my goal is to get to the... Good morning, Luciana. My goal is to get to the 6 over 10. Okay, so I started with 2 over 10. My goal is to get to the 6 over 10. So we need to figure out what we're going to fill in this box. All right. Page 497. For those of you that just joined us, page 497. Good morning, Asia. Good morning, Dejan. All right. So, what plus 2 gives us 6? Well, we know 4 does. And then we've got to put it over something. Well, since these are both over 10, I'm going to put it over 10. So, my problem would be 2 over 10 plus 4 over 10 equals 6 over 10. Okay, that's how I work with a number line. Okay, that's adding a number line. Let's look at the next one. The next one was number 6 on this page. The arrow is going backwards. So I need to look at it and say, okay, the arrow is going backwards. All right, so I would start with my 1/5. No, I'm not. Let's do it the other way. All right, so I would start right here with my 4/5 minus something equals 1/5. This is number 6 on page 497. Number 6. Yes, Emma?
I know the answer.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
All right. So if we're looking at this, we say 4 minus what number gives us 1? Well, that's 3. And since they're both over 5, I'm going to put it over 5. Okay, I want you to do this one. Everybody do this one that I've got up on the board now. It would be number 7 on that page. Number 7.
My mom is printing it out.
Okay, that's fine. You can still see it on my board. Go ahead and work it.
What number are we on?
We're on number 7 on page 497.
Okay.
All right. Our arrow jumps to the right, which means we're going to do what? Add or subtract? Add. Yes, we're going to add. So we start with the 3/4. And we're going to, I'm sorry, it's 2/4. We start with the 2/4. And we're going to add to get to 3/4. So what plus 2 gives me 3? 1. And then we put it over 4 because these are both 4s. Yes. Uh-huh.
If you have the page, do we do all of them?
No, all we've done is 5, 6, and 7. That's the ones I've got on this board right now that we're working on. 5, 6, and 7.
Miss Blackmon,
Yes.
I can't see you.
You can't see me where?
I can't see your face. It's just a circle.
Huh. I wonder why. Because my camera's on.
Which page? Ask her which page.
Page 497.
Thank you.
All right. If you don't have your book, I'm going to write the next one on the board. If you do have the pages, go ahead and do number 8. Go ahead and do number 8. For those of you that don't have it,
oh, when you
all right. For those of you that don't have the page, here's the number. Here's the problem. Number 8 on page 497. Here's the problem. All right, you notice the arrow is going back. So that means I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to go ahead and write my subtraction down. All right, I'm starting with where the arrow starts, which is 4 over 6. I want to end where the arrow ends, which is 2 over 6. So 4 minus what gives me 4 minus 2 gives me 2. And I go ahead and put it over 6. All right. If you have the page, I believe 497 was on it. Check and see if 497, the back of this one, was on it.
Miss Blackmon, what page?
498. See if you have page 498.
I have it.
All right.
I have it too.
Okay. So we're looking at the problems, and I'm going to write them down for those of you that don't have them. We're looking at 14 first. And we're going to look at A, B, and C at the same time. So I'm writing them all down now. Whoever has your mic on, please turn it off. All right. So here's A, B, and C on number 14 written down. All right. You've got numbers beside it. It wants to know what numbers go in each box. Yes. It's page 498. All right. So, what plus 2 gives me 3? 1. What's on the bottom of my fractions? 4. I finished A. Now I go to B. 12, 12. Well, I know this one has to be 12. 8 minus what gives me 2? Well, that number would be 6. And then I've got 8 and 8. So I know the bottom's going to be 8. What plus 2 gives me 5? That would be 3. Yes, Jasmine. Jasmine? Absolutely. All right. So where my boxes are the numbers I had to fill in. If I've got 4s on the bottom, then the box on the bottom has to be a 4. The top, I have to figure out 2 plus what number equals 3? 2 plus 1. Moving to B, 12s are on the bottom, so I know this bottom is going to be 12. 8 minus what number equals 2? 8 minus 6 equals 2. And then the last one, I know that the bottoms are 8, so this one's going to be 8. 2 plus what number gives me 5? That answer is 3. All right. All right, so for today in math, you're going to be doing the homework page. Now, look at page 499. Again, if you do not have it, when this lesson is over, get on the email and look at the problems, and you can use it to work the problems, because I really do not have time to call out all the problems to you. All right, on 499, 1 through 4, you're doing exactly what we were doing with the number line. You write the equation with the answer. All right, 5 through 13. 5 through 13, you need to look at the sign in the middle to know whether to add or subtract. And then on page 500, 18 and 19. 18 and 19, you're just filling in what numbers go in the spots. 18 and 19. Okay, one more time. Page 499. 1 through 13. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are doing just what we did with the number line. 5 through 13, you need to pay attention to the sign and you're going to add or subtract. And then on page 500, you're going to do 18 and 19. 18 and 19. That is your homework for tonight.
Miss Blackmon,
Yes?
I can find five, 500, not on the, find on the thing.
It came on an email yesterday. And it says 9-6 Monday.
I didn't get it either. We printed it out and it didn't come
You did what?
on it. I printed out the papers and it didn't come on it.
Okay.
Me too, I don't have it either.
All right, listen. Okay, I need everybody to listen. We only have 30 minutes left. I've got to do science. On the email that I sent your parents last night, I've got an attachment to it. It says 9-6 Monday.
She's skipping a page. I literally wrote everything.
Okay, mute your mics. All right, please listen closely. I sent an email to your parents last night. The email. Stop with the questions, guys. The email has the link for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then has the link for your science on it. It does not have a Friday on it, and you'll know why when we get to Thursday. All right, you have to go on and look at that link to see the problems. If I were to sit here and call out every problem on those 2 pages, I would not have time to go over science with you at all. So,
Miss Blackmon, sorry. I'm checking your email and that 500 pages not on.
okay, is 500 not there? Okay, it may not be. If 500's not there, don't worry about it. All right? So it looks like only $4.99 is there. That's fine. Don't worry about page 500 then. We divide up how we do the lessons, and I was told 500 is going to be there, but it's not, so let's not worry about it. You're just going to do page 499, and you're going to do 1 through 13. 499, 1 through 13.
Excuse me.
Whoa. Remember, if you have a question, you need to tell me because we can't have everybody turning on the mics at once. Ananda, what was your question? Ananda? Jasmine, what's your question?
I'm already done with the paper.
Okay. Miliani, what's your question?
I still don't understand what's going on the number line.
Okay. Were you paying attention when I just went over them? Because I went over 4 of them. All right. So look at number 1 on page 499. Where does your number line start?
The number line starts at 5.
Okay. Am I adding or subtracting?
Subtracting.
Okay. What's the answer I want to get to?
2 for 8.
Yep. So 5 minus what gives me 2?
4
Does 5 minus 4 give me 2? 5 minus how many gives me 2?
3
3. Over what?
over 8.
Yep, that's all you're doing.
Okay.
All right. All right. Let me just check and make sure none of these people joined us. Salvador, did you join us? Daniel? Camilla R? Jocelyn? Or David? If any of y'all joined us, please type here so I know you're here. Angelo? Andalise? Amari? Sarah R? Or Delianne? Did any of you join us? All right. All right. Does everybody have 499 or can see 499 on the attachment? If not, when I send out my video, my link to my YouTube video, the paper will also be attached to that, okay? All right. Before we go any further, okay, guys, thank you. Before we go any further, before we go into science, we have something very special we need to do today. We have a member of our class who can't celebrate her birthday because of the pandemic. Can't have a birthday party, can't have any fun. They just have to stay at home with their family. So right now, everybody turn on your mics and we're going to sing happy birthday to Veronica. Turn on your mics. All mics on. All mics on. All right, ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Veronica. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Veronica. All right, if you'll mute your mics, please. Yes.
My birthday is in this Thursday.
Is it? All right. We'll be singing to you, I'm sure. All right. So on page 499 again, you're doing the whole page. All right. Let's go to science. Let's go to science. All right. In science, we're talking about incomplete and complete metamorphosis. All right. You kind of started working on this last week, but you didn't know what it was called. Complete metamorphosis is what a butterfly goes through. So it starts as an egg, and then it becomes a pupa, and then it becomes, it becomes a larva, then it becomes a pupa, then it becomes an adult. All right? So it changes its form. A butterfly doesn't come out of the egg as a butterfly. It comes out as a caterpillar. And then it forms its chrysalis. And then it becomes the butterfly. All right? Now, incomplete metamorphosis is like a grasshopper or a cricket. They're born, they look like a grasshopper or a cricket, they're just little bitty, and then they just grow. Okay? So the baby looks like the adult. Okay? So in incomplete, the baby looks like the adult. In complete metamorphosis, the baby does not look anything like the adult. All right? So let's think about the frog that you learned about last week. All right? I just want you to think about that one for a minute. That frog Does it look the same as a baby as it does an adult? No. So since the baby doesn't look the same as the adult, it goes through what we call a complete metamorphosis. It changes completely from one thing to another. All right? What about us as humans? Do we go through incomplete or complete metamorphosis? Incomplete, yes, because we are born as a baby and we just grow up into an adult. We don't change from something else into an adult, into a human to be an adult, all right? So we go through what's called incomplete metamorphosis. So this week you're going to be studying complete and incomplete metamorphosis. For today's assignment, you're going to go on to Brain Pop. Okay? Not Brain Pop Junior, Brain Pop. All right? In Brain Pop, under the search, you're going to put in the word metamorphosis. It's METAMORPHOSIS. Metamorphosis. It'll come up with two videos. One that'll say metamorphosis and one that'll say butterflies. You want to do the one that says metamorphosis. Okay? What I'm asking you to do on that one for today is to watch it and take really good notes over incomplete and complete metamorphosis. Mute your mics, please.
Miss Blackmon, how do you spell metamorphosis?
MEMORPHOSIS.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to type that in, and it's going to come up with two videos. Again, one that's going to say metamorphosis and one that's going to say butterflies. You're going to watch the one that says metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. Okay, while you're watching it, please take really good notes because that is what we're studying this week. All right, does anybody have any questions about science or metamorphosis that I can answer?
Blackmon,
Yes.
is this what it looks like? Wait, let me just. Like this?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Veronica, we are still doing life cycles, but we're going to be studying complete and incomplete metamorphosis. So when you go into Brain Pop, not Brain Pop Junior, you're going to type metamorphosis. Luciana, what's your question?
Do we have to send you the picture of the frog?
No. No, I do not need the picture of the frog. In fact, I don't need any pictures today. I don't need any pictures today.
And I'm also making a book of all the things you signed me.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So let me just check one more time. Salvador, did you join us? Daniel, Camilla R., Jocelyn, or David? If you joined us, please type here. Angelo, Annalise, Amari, Sarah R., or Deli-Ann. If any of y'all joined us, please type here. Yes, Lillian, you do take notes on the metamorphosis. All right. Any questions on the math? Any questions on the math? Any questions at all on the math? All right. It sounds like you are ready to go. I don't have anything else to teach you. So, no, you're not taking the quiz right now. No, you are not taking the quiz. All you're doing is watching the video and taking notes.
Miss Blackmon, is it on Brain Pop or Brain Pop Junior?
Brain Pop.
Okay.
Brain Pop.
Miss Blackmon.
Yes.
Blackmon.
Yes.
Do we have like after ELA class? Do we have to go like specials?
Yes.
Or are we done for the day?
It depends on if you got your specials done and if you got your iReady and your Lexia done.
Okay. What's today's specials?
I don't know. It's different for both classes.
I'm just gonna do whichever one.
That's fine. All right. It looks like you are ready to go. So, Alexander, I need you to stay on for a minute. I'm looking to see who else. That's it. Everybody else, if y'all want to hang up and go ahead and get started, you'll meet with Miss Kionis in about 15 minutes. She should have sent you a link. If she didn't, you need to get your parents to email her and find out what you need to get. So if you're done,
Just go on right now.
yes, you can. You just have to go on her link. All right, so bye, guys. Alexander, please stay on. Bye. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye, Miss Blackmon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
ELA class?
Yes, you'll have to go to ELA now.
You don't have any link for that.
If you don't have a link for it, if Miss Kionis didn't send you one, then you do what I've told you to do, okay? All right. Bye. Bye. See you tomorrow. Bye, Lillian.